All right, wonderful. Looks like we're live. Namaste, everyone. Welcome. Akasha here, Nan Akasha. So, welcome to my sacred space. Welcome to this beautiful infinity healing chamber. Welcome to this incredible day. I hope you loved the portal we had yesterday. The 555 portal was really quite a doorway. And for my wishes fulfilled circle, we had a profound initiation. It was really, really beautiful. And we were taken to a new doorway, a new uh, reality in our evolution, because we've been doing our work, we've been doing our spiritual work, and you have been too, because wow, this year is amazing. So we knew that the serpent, the snake energy was going to help us shed, help us get grounded, help us get down to earth, help us look at, what's not working in the body, right? The earth, the body. And so what I want to do now is really start to weave together a tapestry for us, because we are the ancients walking now, and we are the ones who came here to remember who we are so that we could be who we came here to be. And we chose this incredible moment when shit be falling apart, okay? So it's intense, it's whatever you want to call it. Don't judge it, don't be attached to it being good or bad. We are the ones that ride the wave. And when you understand mysteries, so ancient secrets, ancient civilizations, mystery schools, even art schools or schools of alchemy or religious schools, or all kinds of different ways that people had wisdom, and wisdom to live in harmony with the earth, with the sun, with the cycles, with the weather, live in harmony with the resources in the ground and the water. This is something we don't have a choice but to get back to now, right? So what we're doing is having an incredible opportunity to shed and strip away all the things that do not serve us anymore, to be high vibrational, responsible, spiritually mature, focused, manifesting creators. Okay, we are truly the manifestors. However, you have to believe it. You have to unhook from what you were told and the limits you have, and your belief in lack, and your belief in time, and your belief in uh, it can't and it won't and it's not, and structure, and needing proof outside of you. These are all things that are falling away. They might look like, oh, the school structure is changing. Oh, the laws in this around this topic in this country are changing. That's the external. And we're looking at the frequency, the vibration, the consciousness, the light, the thought, the energy, the heartbeat underneath it. So why is Venus important? Why do I do spiritual weather reports? Why do I watch the energies? Because we are one with the energies. We are a divine being in a human body. The human body is made out of earth. And every day we want to sit with gratitude, beauty, and peace, connecting heart to heart with grateful beauty. Thank you. Now we've had enough of the copal. That was a big clearing. So you've been cleansed, cleared, and are protected, and you can see through the dark now. So welcome to my circle. The Jaguar Medicine women are here. The wise women are here. This is the gathering of the wise ones, and that's you. You chose to be here. So when you understand the cycles and the energies that are subtle, that are hidden, that are invisible, that are underneath, these are the cause instead of the effect. This is the effect. You're the cause. The thought's the cause. The feeling is the cause. The deeper you go into this and whatever interests you, music and harmonics, color, energy healing, vibration, Reiki, radionics, Rife, all kinds of new frequency and magnetic healing tools and machines, and even places like Germany that are using them in hospitals. I've been doing that kind of work for decades. And understanding homeopathy, flower essences, oils, aromatherapy, These are very powerful medicine in the sense that they have frequency, they have a certain vibration, a certain frequency. Now we have certain frequencies that come from the earth. We know when an earthquake happens, but I'm talking about every day, all day, shifting and moving. There's people who've studied that there's an entire central channel like we have down our spine, like the earth has a light body. And that shifts depending on the century. And you watch the power or the focus or the influence of that part of the world actually rise when that pulse is centered there. And then it moves to another place. And you look back through history and you can match these shifts. You can see the shift or measure the shifts now with all kinds of instruments, right? From satellites and down here. And we can see through the ground to a degree now. We have the ability to understand everything is light and everything is frequency. And when it becomes embodied, like you have a particular purpose, you have a particular talent, you have a particular medicine, I like to call it, your energy, what you can give, your expertise. So when we marry that with love, all right, we have a beautiful opportunity to bring pleasure, joy, to create beauty, to think about what we want versus what everyone told us we could or couldn't have, and you break free. So I want you in your own center as the authority, the one thinking in your mind, the one deciding what things mean, the one understanding we're going through a process. You're not going to change the process. You don't change the people outside of you by going and telling them what to do. You do everything within. You are the universe. You are the source. You are the creator. You're the chooser. So you choose what you think and what you feel, what you believe, and then that shows up around you as the reflection. That does not change, though, the fact that Venus or the moon or the stars or the Milky Way is doing its thing. You could unplug from this planet, go to a different star orientation, and that would change that part of it. But let's just say that you're going to stay in your human body on Earth and you want to shift from a stressful relationship or a job you don't like or lack of money or belief that you're not good enough. And you want to shift into a positive, empowered feeling so you can take action, so you can look at opportunities, so that you can start to think about and create something new. I want you to do that because you're a creator. The choices you make, what are you agreeing to? What are your thoughts? Are they creative? Are they helpful? Are they healing? Are they positive? Are they empowering? Or are they destructive? What are you secretly saying? What are you saying out loud? Who are you blaming? These are all things that you have a choice over. Whether Venus is crossing right now or just started an 8-year cycle, you don't have a choice other than just go to another star system. Okay. So assuming we're staying in the same star system, what do we do with the full moon that's coming in about a week, little less than a week? What do we do when an eclipse happens? What do we do when, all the stars are having a special alignment? What do we do when it's the sunrise, the sunset? What do we do on the solstices? What do we do on the equinoxes? What do we do when Saturn goes into Aries? We're going to do a show about that. So don't forget to show up next week for Donna Stellhorn, our fabulous astrologer. She's going to give us the inside secrets about this month with Saturn, who's your karma master. That's what you feel is your barrier, but it's really your best ally, but it's a difficult one. And in Aries, wow, right? Headstrong, bold, going, hitting that wall. Going to help us look at different energies. So I do that. I want to understand the energies so that I know how to approach it, what to be prepared for. It'd be like saying, I'm going to climb the side of a mountain. I need rope and cleats and all this crazy equipment, or I'm going to walk up a hill. All I need are some walking shoes and a hat. Okay. What is it that you want to know about what's happening around you, because you can harness that power for your healing, for your abundance, for your spiritual growth, for accelerating what you're going through, for getting more clarity on what you're going through, for lifting you up, for helping you through a transition. Maybe someone has passed on. Maybe you've left a house or a job, or you're moving to a new country, or who knows what's happening. Okay. We're all going through transition. We're all going through metamorphosis. That's a fact. So don't argue with it. Let's look at Venus today and how this is a powerful energy, but not just the way we think. So in Western astrology, we think about Venus as the goddess of love. Ta-da! Here she is. So Venus is the Roman name. Aphrodite is the Greek name, where she started. And this is a famous statue. Of course, she had heads and arms, okay? It's an ancient statue. It's in the Louvre. And it's called Venus de Milo. I'm sure you probably had to study it in school. Okay, so Venus is the embodiment of feminine love. And that energy got distilled down into sexy, beautiful, appraised and appreciated only for your physical beauty. And that's not what Venus embodies. That's not what the Aphrodite, the goddess aspect, the feminine, the sacred feminine aspect of this embodies. It is more than that. It is the feminine essence expressing its beauty, receiving pleasure, receiving what its wishes, so that all it does is radiate beauty. You see the difference and the distinction. So this is what I love to help you do in the classes. And I want to make sure that you understand that we've got right now we have some sales on just for a little bit longer, maybe a week. And if you're having stress, if you're having trauma, if you're having excitement, if you're having breakthroughs, if you're having channeling sessions in the middle of the night with 10,000 angels, if the blue beings are visiting you, whatever is going on, I've got my private sessions on sale right now. I've got also the energy cleanses. So make sure that you hit the shop and you check it out, okay? Now, we're going to have the Intuition Awakening Summer Camp, and it is the Oracle card. So this is a course on not just learning how to read Oracle cards, okay? This is a whole other experience with the idea as this is an oracle, it's a portal, it's a tool, it's a magical, mystical item that you use to open doorways. These are beings, these are sacred feminine mysteries, these are mystics, these are doorways, every one of them. And they're going to open your intuition, you're going to talk to them, you're going to travel with them, you're going to see them glowing, you're going to communicate with them, you're going to get to understand whole new levels of intuitive language. So we're marrying the Intuition Awakening Camp with the Oracle card, magic, prosperity magic. So all that's in there, and it's just gone on sale again. So this is a great opportunity, if you didn't get it before, to pop in there. Now there's also a certification to that, so make sure you check that out. And the thing that I really want to dive into today is the idea that you have within you an incredible opportunity right now. That opportunity is to harness this year of the snake, because it is Earth. That means things are going to change in the body. Things are going to change in the physical. They're going to change in your manifestation of stuff's going to change. This is about shedding and letting go. Yes, but that's only part of the snake power medicine. The other aspect is accepting and embodying that you're fully ready to slide out, to release, to rip off your mask, to rip off your identity, to let go of all of these limiting things that maybe once really supported you, but they are not who you are anymore. And so this is when you start to look at yourself and say, wow, I'm gorgeous. Underneath who I thought I was is this luminous, amazing being. And I have the patterns of sacred geometry. I have the markings of sacred priestesses. I have the wisdom. I have the knowledge. I feel the centeredness. I can start to tune into the grid lines and the ley lines and the earth spirals and the earth chimneys and the yin waters and the sacred stones and the crystals within the stones and the piezoelectric magnetic codes that are going between every pyramid and every temple, and finding out that even the cathedrals are built on sacred geometry, are built on ley lines, are built on sacred energies. And these are mirroring the stars, and our body and our light body is mirroring the stars and our light self. So we are waking up to so much that when you realize how much is here to help you, how much is here for you to tap into, how much wisdom, how much expertise as you're going through whatever you are going through right now, you're going to never, ever want to be without this incredible opportunity, right? To see and to feel that this is the moment you shed something and you recognize, okay, you recognize that you do not ever again have to wear that mask, have to be that, have to be afraid, have to feel poor, have to feel like, oh, well, that worked out, but maybe it won't work out again. Even with years of successes or years of inner transformation, there can often be times, this is how my unfolding was that you still had a small amount of like that fear, something's behind you, something's going to get you, something's going to pop out of the blue and just take away everything that you have, even though you've figured out how to be happy. So trauma from the past lives, living in your body, living in your cells, we want to raise your frequency. We want to use the star energies. We want to use the goddess energies. We want to use the nature energies. We want to use everything that's alive, everything that's full of medicine. And we want to tap into what the ancients knew. We want to tap into these energy grids that are around the earth, that are in every single planet, that are between the planets, that are between the worlds. There's interdimensional doorways. There's time holes and wormholes, right? And there's temples and that turn into, and stone circles and pyramids and caves and groves that turn into portals. If you've ever been to the redwoods, there's some serious portals up there. It's a little scary. All those trees have portals between them. I think you could just get lost in a house of mirrors and never come back in some other dimension up there. So when you realize that Venus is really profound, and it's not just the goddess of love. So we're going to dive into what it is. I'm going to geek out on you a little bit, give you more, because I want you to be able to tap into the Venus energy in a way that's practical, that you don't just go, oh, please, I love me. No, this is not a powerless being. I'm going to show you how to other cultures, Venus meant something very different. And it was not dumbed down into just a beautiful, sexy woman praised for her physical body and beauty. It was the totality of femininity and the feminine sacred energies that are rising. The reason we're doing the sacred feminine mysteries is because they've been squashed, they've been misinterpreted, they've been burned, they've been destroyed, they've been twisted, they've been blamed, they've been demonized, they've been suppressed, they've been belittled, and oh, that's silly, or that's not real, or it's not science, or it's not whatever. So what is a sacred feminine mystery? Well, it could be you listening to your intuition. It could be you trusting your gut. It could be you deciding to create something. It could be you accepting where you are, what is going on, and not requiring perfection. Loving like a mother loves, like an unconditional love. Tapping into the reality that things die and things are born, and you are the source of that. So you're not afraid of death. You're not afraid of birth. You're always in a different part of that cycle. You understand you don't need anything else, and yet you have this love for harmony of all things. So when you go deeper into the sacred feminine mysteries, it could be that you know specific Celtic goddess spells and rituals, and you were used to do sacred ceremony under the full moon, and you used to go to sacred sites or temples and stones like me, and this is why I love doing it. You love going to the portals, you love the chanting and the meditating and the dancing and the sacred mantras and the sacred words and how they work together, and the alchemy and the energy work that happens, and your ability to communicate with other beings. Okay, all these things are possible. And this is what I want you to step into now. Stop living in the mundane world. It's going to be there. You're going to take care of it. Don't worry about it. Get the hell out of it and come into magic. So the first portal we're going to step through right now, as with Venus as the goddess, as the love, as the one that says, I'm your wishes, I am all the pleasures, and what would you like? So I want you to take a moment, put your hands on your heart, take a deep breath in through your heart. I enter this sacred space in reverence, presence, and love. Relax, relax, deeper and deeper. Another deep breath in. Open your heart. I'm ready to receive unconditional love and the sacred knowledge of my soul purpose. Let that breath go. Drop your arms onto your lap with your palms up so you're receiving, or cup them together. I'm ready and willing, open and receptive to receive that which is optimal for me at this time. I call on Venus, the beautiful divine love, the giver of pleasure, the granter of wishes, the carrier of unconditional love. I call on Venus and Aphrodite and the divine sacred feminine, the unconditional love of the mother. I embody that I am the creator. And I ask this new 8-year cycle of Venus to guide me, to support me through the conflict, through all that isn't love, as I travel this flower, this sacred shape, this sacred path, this pentagram, this 5-pointed star that is me, that is my body, that is my inner eye. I call on Venus, the vision of beauty, the part of me that's ready to create beauty, be beauty, receive beauty, expect beauty. I am the light. I am the light. I see no darkness. I have no darkness. I am the love. I am the love. I release all else and stand in sacred knowledge. Now feel yourself filling up with this divine silver goddess ray that's pouring to us and through us. How beautiful. Take a deep breath in and feel yourself all the way in the embrace of this divine goddess. Now, I want to tell you a story. The goddess, the priestesses, the midwives, the queens, the rulers, the architects, the astronomers, the engineers, the women, they did it all. It's all been erased. It's all been unwritten. But it exists because the frequency of the truth and all things, all thoughts exist, and they live in the earth and they live in the stones. They live in the bones and they live in the crystals. When certain things happen, sunrise, moons, Venus going through a certain cycle, Venus in retrograde, Mercury in retrograde, certain doors open, certain doors shut, certain abilities to see and sense things awaken, certain ones shut, the veil thins in certain areas and closes tighter in others. Some things shake you and require you to change, like Uranus and eclipses. Some things offer you a doorway to the life your soul intended. And that's the ancient mystery path of magic and miracles by accepting the light, seeing past the illusion and the story that you were told about everything, including yourself. So now I want you to take a moment, and if you've closed your eyes, get ready to open your eyes. Breathe in this love of Venus. Is she there? Do you feel her? Is there a sense of someone around you, holding you, touching you, holding your hand, beaming love down on you, around you? Do you feel the sense of the star, the planet? Do you see her guiding you, shining on you, the radiant sun that she is? Now I want you to ask Venus, as you're getting ready to open your eyes and go into a journey with her and with me. Ask her to show you the path to your power, your purpose, and your pleasure. Ask her to attune the crystals within you, within your pineal, within your glands, within your cells, within your bones, to the crystals in Stonehenge, Stony Littleton, Stanton Drew, Woodhenge, West Kennet Longbarrow, Avebury, the White Springs, the Chalice Well, Wells Cathedral, the Lost Queens, the Forgotten Queens, the Priestesses, the Medicine Women, the Wise Ones. Across the south of England, before, during, and after the Celts, wave after wave of people came, drawn to the sacred energies in this earth, the crystals and the stones, speaking to them, whispering, this is your time, this is your purpose, this is your moment. We hold doorways. We harness the stars. We open portals and stargates. We heal. We release. We build. We shield. All is available here. You can feel the living earth beneath you. Spirals of energy coming up. Ley lines glowing. Earth currents flowing. You sense the luminosity of your body and the meridians in it, and the luminosity of the earth and the meridians moving within it, the yin waters in your sacral and hers. You see and sense Stonehenge. You can look at the screen or you can keep your eyes closed. You see it from afar or above or standing within it. Perhaps you're inside of a stone, like which happens to many and to me last year. You sense the vibration, the crystal grid within these stones. Some of them flecked with ruby, some blue. They're living beings, they're glowing, they're speaking. Crystal lattice work within them is beginning to grow, to become active. You see and sense there's light moving through here. There's moving through you. It's accelerating. It's moving forward. Venus has called you here. The star and sun alignments here. In the private moment, you will be here with me. We'll reconnect you to the goddess temples of phase 1 and phase 2. Of Stonehenge, yes. Goddess temples, built for goddess temples, built for secrecy, built for wisdom, built for creation with the stars and the planets and the star beings above, and the earth currents below, and all beings walking upon the sacred being. You stand as the beauty of the light, the memory, the wisdom, and now the sacred women begin to hum and vibrate and appear around you. You see and sense yourself entering in a sacred way from a very special place, cleansing with a stone. Many of the wise women here singing, dancing. You smell the herbs, you feel the fires, you understand the sacredness of the moment. Your feet commune with the earth. Draw in the energies that she offers. Your heart drinks them up and opens. Your crown becomes a lotus flower that opens to the stars. From above and below, You're infused with this crystal light, Stonehenge, the long lost queens, priestesses, and wise women begin to appear. It is the full moon. You see the long-skulled queens, the priestesses, beautiful in their flowing gowns, glowing. You see the energies coming from them. They're awakening you. They speak into your heart, the sacred circles, the stones, and the forgotten Neolithic queens. All of the rituals, all of the special experiences that you had here, you are ready to have again. This is a once-in-a-lifetime journey. Venus is called, wants to open secret power codes, to access your abundance, to help you stand in the most powerful, cosmic, ancient, enigmatic, sacred site, aligned with every time and every moment, all the earth energies and ley lines that come through here, the queens, the beings, the moments of light when portals would open and electricity would shoot, the moments of dawn and alignment and activation of the stones, aligning your spine, clearing your chakras, opening your intuitive skills. You can feel it. The portals and the doorways here. You dance and sing with the ancient goddess temple. The celestial temple, healing and oracle center of the ancient priestesses of Stonehenge have awakened, and they're calling us. Ancient wise women are calling us back to our voice and our power, to our sovereignty, to the earth and the cosmic energies, to awakening the stones, because you have memories and codes within you. The Fae-like ancestors have been buried and hidden from history. The full moon is illuminating the land. Venus is saying, I'm here. I'm taking you with me. I'm going to open it. We will awaken the sacred knowledge encoded in these stones and the earth and the stars under the potent energies of the full moon. Now, as you relax, dropping back into your body in this moment, receiving this beautiful blessing, you are and have been there. September 6th, you're standing there at Stonehenge with our private access group, with the #1 world expert on the secrets of Stonehenge, the lost, long-skulled queens, all of the energies, the portals, and the goddess temple of Stonehenge. And together as a group, we breathe in the sunrise, the ancient wisdom, and receive our codes and our messages. As you come into your body, you can leave your future self as her and I and everyone in this sacred group. And Maria, we move on to Woodhenge and walk the concentric circles as a labyrinth. And we move on through these harmonics, the colors, the sound, the music of the spheres. We're tuning into these forgotten sanctuaries of divine feminine. And as we go to higher states of consciousness, we will enter the Wells Cathedral, famous for its Venus Pentagram, a Christian church encoded with ancient goddess symbols, sacred geometry, and much, much more. So I want you to take a minute, because that was kind of deep, to get present with yourself, with what we just did. And I was showing, excuse me, I was showing I guess I have to do something over here. Okay, yes, I need to, nope, that's not it. Let's see, how about this one? There we go. Okay, so that's the link to this retreat. And I didn't know that was happening today. But this is part of the retreat we're doing in the UK. So Maria Wheatley, who will be on the show next week on Monday, is become a dear friend. She's all over Gaia TV, all over the place with what's happened. She's an expert at ancient sites, energies, earth energies, dowsing, and she's going to, her book is a documentary now, The Secret History of Stonehenge, and she did discover the temples, the goddesses, she's even seen at least one or more of the skulls of the actual physical body of these lost queens, long-skulled priestesses, and more. So that's the focus, is we're going to these sacred places, and we're going with her, and we're going in a way where we are going to feel the energies, we're going to sense the energies, we're going to go into the temples, we're going to enter the way that they did. We're going to activate that. So on the first day, we go to Stonehenge in the morning. We go to Woodhenge after that, after we have a wonderful breakfast, and walk that as a labyrinth. And those are all on here. Now, I guess I could just do that again. Share it. So what I'm going to go and explain to you now is that next on that day, in the afternoon, we're going to have a private tour with an expert of Wells Cathedral. You may have heard of Wells Cathedral. It is quite a famous cathedral in England, and it has extremely unusual architecture. It has what's called scissor architecture. It has all kinds of curves. It has the pentagram of Venus encoded into it. It has many, many, many secrets. So this is an expert in sacred geometry who's an expert in this church, and we may even get to do a meditation in here. So after building the sacred feminine energies in the morning, we will be going here. So I want to take you through some more about Venus, and then we will look at this church and these codes. So Venus is a major influence, right, over us, and a major influence over most ancient civilizations. It's one of the brightest stars that you can see. And this morning I was watching it. And the cultures tracked the cycles. They had short ones, long ones. They even built temples all over the place. I stayed in this beautiful place up the hill from Rome, over a waterfall. And between my room on this cliff and just across the waterfall was the Temple of Venus. It was an ancient temple. I slept with the door open the whole night, just staring at it and feeling the water. So that was the reason I stayed there. So here in the Maya land, every site has a temple to Venus. And if you've been around me for a while, you know that I go to a site not far from me on a regular basis, at least once a month. And we went there for the equinox because it is Sibyl Sheltoun. It has a special temple where the sun comes through a door, which is quite phenomenal, and awakens your third eye. But that's not the Temple of Venus. Temple of Venus is down from it, and I go meditate on it. I've met the prosperity watching grandmothers. We've gone into there's one area you can go inside of it. I've had a client had a massive awakening. We've experienced huge cleansing energies, and even light has showed up I should have put that here. If you saw the picture of one lady, this incredible 3-armed green light appeared in her heart in a picture. So this, they tracked Venus, and they had a different perspective on Venus. So I'm excited to share a couple different ancient cultures so you can start to see how this weaves together and what do you resonate with. I would suggest, if you can, taking in a little bit from each that feels resonant to your power, strength, and resilience. Now, why do you need power, strength, and resilience when you're like, please give me my wishes? Because you aren't used to getting your wishes. You're not used to asking for your wishes. You're not used to defining your wishes. So both short and long. Okay, Venus has cycles, and they are built into temples, cathedrals, sacred geometry. The Venus 8-year sacred cycle is very well known. I'm going to show you what it looks like. When it's traced out, it becomes this flower, or this star, or this pentagram that's quite amazing, and creates. This is part of what's embedded. So we got that. Okay, Venus and the Mayan Cosmovision. Venus in Maya is Nok-ek. And what that means on one level is red star. Now, the synodic cycle of Venus, okay, this is for you geeks, is that much, but the Maya just rounded it to 84. Venus is the radiant sun that rose when there was no sun. So after the flood, or after the meteor or whatever, there was a period, and they know because people built big underground cities, and we know that now more than ever before, there was no sun and people were freezing. And so in the Mayan Cosmovision, they sent prayers, and for Balaam, for jaguar medicine beings, light beings, came down and went and prayed, went and asked, went and burned copal for 10,000 days or something. I don't know how long it was. It was a lot of copal, and asked, please, for the sun to come back. Well, what happens when Venus is the morning star, like right now? It rises before the sun. So it's called the morning star because you see it. The sun is coming up, the sky is getting lighter, and yet you see this really bright star coming up. And so it precedes the sun. It tells you the sun is coming. It's the herald of good news, right? And so what happened is Venus appeared when this was happening. And because it's very radiant and very bright, and through all the mist and all the fog and all the smog and all the whatever there was, they saw this radiant light. It was the answer. Please bring the sun back. Now, remember, everything is a psychological or symbolic, mystical way of telling you something. That's very important, of who you are and how to be with it, because our logical mind and our conditioning can't understand these energies. So Venus is the morning or the evening star, depending where it is. It just turned into the morning star again. At some point, it disappears and you don't see it at all. And that is a whole other thing that the Mayan talked about. Like, it's like, oh dear, it's hidden. Like, is this like being in the underworld? Is this like going into your subconscious? Is this like having a rest? Is this like going into your womb? And then it's the evening star. So it's the star you see that sets after the sun. So there is this very strong relationship with the sun, and the sun is, in all ancient cultures, especially Mayan and Egyptian, the sun is God. The sun is the God essence. It's not a God. It's not a human. None of them believed in gods outside of you. They were different aspects of the one. That's it. So the Maya were not polytheistic, and that aspect of the sun, the energy, light, life force, and everything that it represents, paired with a star that's either following it or leading it, right, or being with it, it's a very radiant, sacred feminine energy that takes in all of that energy of the gold ray. So Venus is the goddess of love. We talked about that. And to the Maya, though, instead of the way we think about it in Western astrology, it is a tropical astrology. The Venus represented conflict and transformation and war. Now, when you look at the energy, it's not war like let's go to war, but they would track things they saw as conflict or as need for what? Maybe there's a war on poverty. Maybe there's a war on, against disease, particular disease. The idea that you're focused on something to change or go somewhere new, but not war like let's go create war. But I do want you to realize that if you're thinking Venus is just bringing soft, lovey-dovey stuff right now and fulfilling your wishes, even in Western astrology, that's not what Venus does. Venus often can highlight the fact that you don't know what you want, or you want something, but you're not letting yourself have it, right? Or you think you really want something else. I don't know. So it's the light rising within you having to have a war with the dark that's in your mind and your heart. What negative things do you believe? What limiting things do you believe? What are you projecting in the world? Are you creating more drama, more pain, more abuse? Are you focused on these things? Are you giving them your attention and energy? Then you're creating them. Sorry, that's just the way it is. Now, if you realize that that conflict within you is that you were trained to be upset, to blame people, to feel sad, to judge things as good or bad instead of be in the flow of the divine, then you do have a conflict. You do have a war going on within you. And Venus is here to help. Venus has just started an 8-year cycle that is very powerful. And also to the Maya, Venus was the home of Kukulkan. So Kukulkan is the sacred or the precious, the translation really is, plumed serpent. It is the light of golden sunlight from the sun, and he or it is the energy of unconditional love and sacred wisdom. There's no demons or devils here. That is not what it means. It comes down, fills you back up with gold light, awakens your kundalini, which is your ability to create in a balanced way, connects you above and below, goes back to Venus. So there's a descent and a reascent of Kukulkan at the equinox especially, but every single day, going back up to Venus so that that can be sent to us, so that he can go back up there and then amplify the love, the beauty, the wishes of the divine feminine that Venus represents and shower it down on us, okay? So this is going to be next week with Donna. This is, this is our, this is our Earth Energy Tour. These are the things that are on sale in the shop, okay? So Venus Magic and Venus Star Power Codes are really speaking, and they're going to be coming through me into us as we move towards this full moon in the beginning of September. And walk with me. Tune into this. If you want to come to England, call me, contact me, go to see the site, whatever you need to do. We'll help you manifest it. We'll help you figure it out. I want you to do this in a way that resonates with what is coming alive within you. Do you need to accept that you are and can have unconditional love? Do you need to accept that pleasure and your wishes are needed, are here, and you know how to access them? Are you ready for the ancient and the future you to come together within you and be the creator of your world? Are you ready to step out of the trauma and drama of the world? Well, Venus Magic is that idea that you go through cycles. And the mystery cycle is that you sacredly follow a path. She traces a pentagram in the sky, and it's a symbol of divine beauty and feminine power and celestial abundance. So that's what I want you to focus on. You're going to walk this path every day from this moment forward. You're going to talk with her. You're going to talk with Kukulkan. You're going to tune into it in whatever way you wish, because the sacred Venus pentagram has its link within our consciousness, within our bodies, within our earth. And then it is imprinted in places like this cathedral in England I'm going to share with you. So the idea that Venus was a guide, a prophecy, a transformation, a manifestation to help you through conflict, to realize conflict is here and to not stay still with it, but to keep following your perfect path of light that's coded within you, like a seed has a path, like your DNA knows what to do. It unfolds perfectly. And aligning to this. So this is really a sacred opening in real time. And time is fluid, and time has different structures, and time has different ways of relating to it. And we're becoming the ones that can bend it, that can travel through it, that can relate to it, that can use it, that can be abundant with it. Okay. So the snake year we talked about, it's the secret right now to receive these deeper codes, deep earth codes, okay, from Venus, a star, because this is a rebirth. All right. So we're going to tuning in to this amazing geometry. And we're going to look at it here in a minute. The planet of love, known as the morning star, healing, abundance, rebirth, uncover. Whoop, we talked about that. Planet of love, known as the morning star. Okay, that seems like the same one. We got that. Okay, so here's the cathedral. And I don't have the best photos of it. So I can't show you like, look, right here is the Venus thing. But check out how unusual, and start to tune in this place. So I have to tell you that I'm not a cathedral person in general. I stick with the ancient, the megalithic, the Neolithic. I prefer the goddess or nature-oriented cultures, animal spirit cultures. And I've healed and I'm probably still healing like everyone, religious issues. So I kind of like, yeah, whatever. However, we went to a church when we were there last year for the retreat. On the last day, we stopped at this little church that had a very special sacred feminine codes or patterns embedded in the floor. There was certain codes or energies aligned to Mary Magdalene. And there were green men, which is a Celtic symbol, and other things there as well. So I felt called to take the group there. We went over there, we went and we looked around, and we ended up at one point all standing around the altar. And I started to channel. Now, this is not the kind of channeling I normally do. A spirit entity came through me. I was crying. I was screaming or chanting. I don't even know what. It was so profound though. And I remember just holding really still and watching it and feeling it and letting it move through me. It wasn't scary. It was weird because I don't go to cathedrals for that. I have profound experiences at ancient temples usually. However, the key is that, wow, what happens when somebody who built these cathedrals took the sacred geometry, took the alignments of the earth and the star energies, just the same as any other temple or Stonehenge, just not the same exactly, but because of the same reasons, aligned these churches that way. And then you have these rare and unusual ones like Roswell. That one's unusual if you've ever been there. And these become portals for fusing different cultures, different symbolic languages, layering Venus. Like, look at these circles. Look at this scissor that's called scissor architecture. Okay. Look at how feminine this is. Look at how it looks like mirrors. Look at how it's a womb. Okay. And so our guide, just this ceiling alone. Okay. Look at this. This is a sacred geometrical shape that's alive. It is constantly radiating energy into this room, and the sacred geometry of those arches and the flowers within them and these codes and the patterns on the floor. So some of you maybe have done like Mary Magdalene pilgrimages, and we're going to do some Mary Magdalene things. We're going to do Guinevere things. So there's another part to this retreat where I'm going to be leading the Lost Queens activation of your lost power. We're going to find Guinevere. We're going to find the Morgana whose reputation was smeared. We're going to find the powerful women in the landscape, in the codes, in the waters, in the energies, and awaken them. So that's going to be a second part to this. You can come to either one or both. But this is the Venus, what Venus does. So as Venus goes through, and so we're about a month into a new 8-year cycle. So that means Venus came to the end of the cycle, did retrograde. There's some shows here. Make sure you subscribe. And there's also shows here where you have, I talked about Venus, Donna talked about Venus, and we talked about it coming up. So for the whole year, but we just went through Venus retrograde. And so you want to understand what that means. Like Venus wasn't moving forward on the cycle again. It's like it came to the end of its cycle and then it went backwards. Then it settled and then it relaxed and took a nap, right? So now it's beginning this cycle again. And it does this. It comes down and circles and comes down and circles. So that center 5-pointed star or flower is the Venus pentagram. So I want you to just take a moment and look at it. Just let go of thinking about it. Put your eyes in the center of it. Start to relate to it. Because part of my work with you is to awaken your senses, is to have you relate to things like the stone, the land, the cathedral, the chant, the moment, the stones, the moon, this sacred geometry, the water in the well, whatever it is. These are sacred beings with frequencies and medicines that can do powerful things for you. So you're just looking in the center, you're softening your eyes, you're going to start breathing gently in and out. 3 times, receiving the sacred cycle. 8 years, 5 stars, 5 seeds. Breathe in, let this come into you like a code, like a symbol, like a message, like a glyph, like a hieroglyph. Feel it. Maybe you feel it moving in your blood or tingling your skin. Now, I want you to take it into your eye, directly into your third eye, right in your forehead here. Take that 5-pointed star, bring it in here. The power of Venus, the home of beauty, love, wishes, pleasure, unconditional love, and sacred knowledge. I'm ready to attune to this, be guided with this, to walk this sacred cycle. I'm ready to be called by the earth energies, the star energies, the portals, the goddesses, the queens, the sacred feminine mysteries of the past, and let them awaken within me and around me for abundance, healing, love, creativity, and spiritual awakening. So the longer you look at this, the more you're going to, without moving your eyes, see different shapes. You're going to see sort of a heart shape that goes all the way down this way. Or maybe you see something to the side, or maybe you start seeing all the little seeds, right? Or cups, or chalices, right? Or whatever. So what you can see in here as well is how much sacred architecture. You remember the cathedral arched windows. You can see that shape in here as it comes out. Okay, now we like it in spherical consciousness, 3D like this, because there's many more dimensions to the energy. It's not a flat 2D thing. It's going through space, going through time, cycling. This is another version of it that's interesting because when you draw, trace, or color sacred geometry, you suddenly start seeing the depth of it. You suddenly start seeing things you didn't see. So this is just simply the exact same thing we looked at, but instead of it being a line drawing with little loops, the energies have been colored in. So take a moment and just see what this is speaking to you, because this is symbolic language. And like the crystal lattice work inside the stones in Stonehenge and many other places, this lattice work carries energy, magnetics, electric currents, harmonics, colors, music, awakened or amplified by light or moon or star. Perhaps quiet. So again, just looking at the center, you'll see it start to become 3D. You might see some of the shapes light up. You notice some triangles more than others. You see this, again, the 5-pointed star, but very different. And here you can start to see a lot of medieval and, a lot of shapes and designs that were used across Europe and other places. All right, now I'm going to move this again. So you might close your eyes for a second. And, oh, I thought I had another one. Okay, I guess I don't. So Venus is more than love, right? So we talked about it being transformation. I want you to think of it as magnetic, creative, and deeply transformative. That the beauty and aesthetic intelligence that she rules means that she has the ability to show you how to see with beauty, think with beauty, expect beauty, see beauty, amplify beauty, only put your money, energy, time into things that are beauty. Now, that's not physical beauty. So remember to step outside of what she was burdened with was, oh, you're just a hot chick. Okay. It's not just about physical beauty because that's different in everyone's eyes. If you're from a different culture, you might not think that what people revere in one culture is maybe a large woman versus a skinny woman, or a woman with no breasts versus a woman with large breasts, or whatever. Who knows? Okay. So you don't project beauty. You have to unplug from beauty being something like, oh, it has to look perfect. It has to be blonde. It has to be whatever. Okay. That's not what we're talking about. This is intelligence that says, I'm not creating ugliness. I'm not creating shame. I'm not creating victimhood. I'm not creating anger. I'm not creating disappointment. I'm not creating any more of that. I'm going to create from beauty. What is beauty? Peace, love, harmony, bliss, reverence, gratitude, joy, creativity, adventure, spirituality. Okay. Love and spiritual union, desire and divine longing, rebirth and sacred conflict. And the cycle is a mirror of inner and outer alchemy. So I'm going to wrap this up now. I want to give you a chance to absorb it, but I want you to listen again. That was really beautiful. I'm going to do that little process we were guided through. But I want you to take this in, or maybe take some notes if something jumps out at you. How can you use this energy? This is a transformational cycle you're in. You don't have a choice. Venus is going that way. She's leading you right now as the morning star. That means every day, whether you're up or not, the best time to meditate is when Venus rises. All right. So you might look up, when does Venus rise? Or mine is at 4 a.m. where I live or whatever, and get up. I'm always up for sunrise. I'm always outside. I'm always bathing in the sun. This time of year, I get to see it rise over the ocean. And I never miss a chance to receive that energy or that medicine if I can. Now, I want you to understand, this is one of my teachings, is the obsidian mirror, that everything outside of you is a reflection. So she's really good. Venus energy is very good at reflecting to you. And what? The inner alchemy that you allow yourself to go through, or you surrender, was going to show up outside of you. And what shows outside of you is giving you feedback on the inner alchemy. And so you look at this, you don't try to change the outside, you change the inside. All right. So remember to check out our retreat. Okay. The Venus Ancient Goddess Temples at Stonehenge, Forgotten, Lost, Skulled Queens, Lost Labyrinths, Stone Temples, Earth Energies with Maria Wheatley and I. And I think we've done all of this. Oh, yes. It's also called a rose. The sacred geometry, as you've seen, is really good, and it does help manifestation. It does help abundance. It does help, despite the fact that it's conflict, because think about how we are looking at that conflict that she rules. She's ruling, I'm going to lead you right now in the morning to show you how to find a path. I'm the radiant sun. I'm the radiant light. I'm not going to leave you in the dark. You're going to find a path and resolve the conflict within you. Remember, the conflict's within us. Okay, so the 8 years, she passes 5 times conjunct with the sun, between the earth and the sun. And this is every 584 days, if you like this stuff. She creates the 5 petals and the star. And we talked about this and this. And the Celtic wisdom, she was honored through Brigid, and sacred groves, stone circles, earth alignments. We're going to be doing all kinds of Celtic goddess work, all kinds of Celtic goddess magic when we're there. And they saw Venus as a bridge between the worlds. So I like that as well. In the Mayan Cosmovision, we talked about that. Also, I want to let you know that Kukulkan, the feathered serpent to them, is the bringer of unconditional love, the bringer of forgiveness, and the carrier of sacred knowledge. As a serpent, that's the representation of Christ consciousness. So not Jesus, a person, but Christ consciousness, meaning this is what you will become. What is Christ consciousness? You don't judge yourself. You fully accept the mother and the father, the left and the right, the above and below, the sun and the moon. You are the full creator. You no longer carry guilt, carry shame, carry judgment. You are crystal clear in your consciousness. Okay. So pure light, create from that pure state. And he rises and descends every single day. It is interesting. One of the ancient codexes, the Mayan books that survived, does track Venus meticulously. They were phenomenal astronomers. It was by far the best in the world ever. And Star Warrior and Evening Star Healer. I like that. Alchemists and mystics, Goddess of Copper and Inner Transformation. The five-pointed star, the pentagram, represents the 5 elements, the 5 wounds, the 5 senses. And the alchemists believe the Venus cycle held codes of spiritual gold. So that's part of what I want you to understand. We're going to be activating when we go to England. So charts, you probably know, for the labyrinths, English sites. These things are built on earth energy lines, or what's called dragon lines, embedded with divine feminine blueprint of harmony and geometry and flow. So the cosmic Venus frequencies are going to be very present with us for a while now, right? But this summer and when we go to England, and I want you to tune into them because Venusian frequencies are very abundant. They carry the codes to the stars, the codes to travel, the codes to creation, and anything else born from true love. The conflict comes from lack or rejection of love. All right. So that's what she wants you to remember. The portal's opened. Now, what you can do here is anything. Heal old wounds in any area, certainly with love and worth. Don't see a conflict around love. You are love. Accept love. Be love. It's here. It's everywhere. Okay? Reclaim your inner beauty, your magnetism. Align with your soul-designed abundance and get your creativity into flow. We need you creating worlds. We need you being the goddess. We need you being the light. We need you refilling your spine, filling up with gold, filling up with life force, awakening your own kundalini, becoming your own world, generating new realities. And these 5 Venus points are going to activate your inner eye. They're going to activate your body like a 5-pointed star, like, like that. And gates for your evolution, gates for light to come into your body. So if you are interested in astrology, take a look at your chart. Contact Donna Stellhorn if you want your chart. She'll give it to you free. And track where Venus lands in your chart. Where this new cycle lands might be very, very relevant and interesting, because then you'll know, well, where is the conflict, or where are the wishes being hidden, or where are the wishes being unfulfilled, or where are the wishes fulfilled that I don't know about? Okay. Where's the pleasure I'm denying myself? Where's the pleasure I wish I knew what I wanted? Where's the pleasure that I had before, but I've rejected or I'm afraid of asking for? So align with the petals themes. Okay. The petal has love, power, creativity, beauty, and purpose. And a lot of different energies can come through here. We've talked about them, but the healing sacred feminine is the strongest part, because of course we really use Venus and Mars to represent the sacred feminine, the sacred masculine. So it's that embodiment of the full sacred feminine, manifesting through harmony as the sacred feminine only does, and releasing distorted love and self-worth patterns. So Venus is a living mystery, a cosmic teacher, a divine guide, is Kukulkan, is the beauty of love goddess, and sacred wealth. So enjoy walking this star path with her. Take her with you. Share this, please. Stay connected. Activate her codes. Rewatch this as you wish. Reach out to me about the retreat. Maria and I are really excited to see you, to join you. And these are a few things from last year with Maria. We're dowsing the stones. She's showing us the sacred energies. We know which ones to stand at, where to put your back, where to stand when you enter. We work with the druid. She's a druid as well. We work with a lot of the sacred energies, the sacred patterns, and we are super excited to see you there. Okay, good. These are from that other cathedral I told you about. So just as interesting to see the sacred geometry embedded in a cathedral. And one of the reasons I wanted to go to this small cathedral we went to last year because outside of it in the graveyard were giant megalithic stones. So it was a stone circle that which is very common, that they, dismantled and built a church. So here they dismantled the pyramids and they built a church, and they use the same stones, but those are still there. This is Stonehenge when we went at the equinox in September. And this is just a really weird, it was raining, it was dawn, lots of people. And this was a very unusual thing that happened in one of my photos. So I wanted to show it to you because you can see this beam coming straight down. What is this? This is coming. The stones are moving this energy. It's radiating out. It's coming in. This is not a flash. This is not sunlight, okay? This is a cloudy, gloomy morning with no sun up yet. Rain coming down. So it's a very intriguing energies. And here's a few more. So you could tune into Stonehenge when we were there on that beautiful equinox morning. It is truly a magical place. I mean, once in a lifetime, you must go at least. There's Tanya. Hopefully she'll come with us. She's been to several of my retreats, and she was there last year for this. And there's Chris and I enjoying that. And this is West Kennet Long Barrow. We're going to be in several long barrows, and these are ancient healing tombs, goddess tombs, where we're going to go in, do sound healing, open portals, douse for energies. Again, Maria knows where the healing energies are, where you sit to open certain portals, where you cleanse yourself before you come in. And this is at night in Avebury when we can, but we may not do it this time. But I had to take advantage of being there at night and go out. This is the shaman's stone. And you sat in this chair here, and there was a hole above you to the stars. It was a very special stone, very special being. Like I said, there's frequencies, there's different crystals, there's different minerals in all these stones. They were chosen on purpose for their reaction to different sunrises, moonrises, everything in between, for their resonance and for the earth energies that are there and for the mirroring of the sky. So all these sites here mirror the planets above us, and the same thing in the Maya land. Okay, everybody, let me say thank you for coming. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Candy. Oh, hi, Candy. I love when I see your name. I wanted to be called Candy when I was a little girl. I wanted to be Cookie or Candy. So I'll just close with showing you again. This is the website. This is one of my pictures from Stonehenge last year. Here's Maria and I. She's really wonderful. She's one of us goddess girls. So this really is the ancient wise women. This is happening everywhere. Here where I live, we're also planning Sacred Feminine University retreats here, because the ancient women that have been buried, erased from history, killed, murdered, a lot of these ones that she found in these sites were murdered. And we are their voice now. We are their connection to bringing their wisdom into this future. So that day, that'll be our first day in the morning. Then we're going to go to Woodhenge and walk these concentric circles. Very powerful site as a labyrinth. Then we're going to have breakfast. Then we're going to go do this cathedral. So that's going to be that afternoon. Very powerful. Here's the expert that's going to take us around, Tom Bree, geometer, artist, teacher, and writer. And he teaches practical geometry and philosophy classes, and he's a good friend of Maria's. So we're very blessed to be able to have him and to have a private tour of that. Then the next day, we're going to go on the full moon to a couple of the most feminine sites. We're going to get inside of here, do an incredible healing. We're going to douse and sense all the energies around here. We're going to go to this site, which is full of, these stones are full of pink crystals, which you can pretty easily see. So we're going to do work with those. And the last day, we're going to go activate our chakras at a place called Wayland Smithy Long Barrow. So it's another one of those stone barrows. And then we're going to experience the amazing energies at Dragon Hill. So you see this mound down here. This is a pyramid. This is a very sacred place, Dragon Hill, and the Uffington White Horse right here. And there you can see the Dragon Hill a little better. So this landscape is covered, okay? Where you see trees is probably where there's other of these megalithic and Neolithic things. So the land is speaking to us, the sun, the moon, the earth energies. All right. So I look forward to seeing you. We've got this 3 days with Maria, and then I'm going to be doing 3 days with me. And I will share more with you about that later, that you can do as well, or you can do either one. Okay, thank you, everybody. Have an incredible and beautiful day, and I hope that you tune into this Venus energy. So it's not just today. We did some shows a month or so ago about when Venus was starting this new cycle. But since we're in the cycle, it's good to remember we're in a rose, we're in a pentagram, we're on a path with light of the sacred feminine. But it also means that, like the Maya understood, this is conflict. There's going to, if wherever there's love and wishes, I want wishes, I want my wishes to come through, there's going to be a perceived conflict because we're in a world of polarities and duality. So it's not bad. It just means that we've got more beautiful energies to support us. Okay, everybody, have a beautiful, blessed day. I hope I see you soon. Don't forget to go over to the shop and get in on some of the classes, the private sessions that are for sale and everything. And I will be back with you for the full moon next week. Bye-bye.